Hey there, this is Mini Pots here, Calvin with Mini Pots. This is going to be a short one. I just have been slammed with work and we've had a trip to the emergency room. Everyone's okay. We think we're going to hold off total commitment to that comment until give it a day or so, maybe a little bit longer. Um, and I have not been at the hobby desk at all this last couple weeks, either any of my projects. I made no progress on them. I'm not real happy with that, but that's, as I mentioned before, sometimes that's the way it is. And I feel sort of a negligent around it, but we'll get that. Do have a couple new things coming in, which I'm excited about. I found a US retailer that has some stuff I've been wanting for a long time. Um, some new things entered my little project. This is one of my girls, or a flashlight for my girl, which I have to take apart and reassemble. Someone stepped on it, and I, in my infinite wisdom, decided to quickly smush it together. The neat thing about it is I want to see how it charges. I was thinking that might be some knowledge I could use for um, lighting for bases and scenery and stuff. And the reading, I have had three exciting things come up. So there are three playtests. If you're getting this relatively soon, there are three playtests that are quite interesting to me. Legitimate Salvage, Will has a playtest for one of his projects. The Legitimate Salvage, it's actually three projects, but one faction of it he wants to do a playtest of. He is, if you follow him on Discord or on, I think it's even on Facebook, um, he has advertised or made mention that he is doing a playtest and is looking for people to help out with that. And one of the playtest things is a paid gig. The other playtest is a new version of 5 Parsecs from Home, doing a solo. What I mean by a solo, a true solo game where you have one miniature with possibly a companion, two or three. The idea is that you're a bounty hunter and you hit different worlds. That one I might be able to have happen. It's on a small play area. Then the third one that I've decided to commit to, and I'm not putting anything aside, I'm throwing another thing on the fire. And this playtest is for Rites of Spring by the author, and I forget it, Frederick of his first name. You would have thought I would have had the book handy. Um, of War Transformed. And this is a new game. He has two new games coming out in the next couple of years. One is a Signs and Wonders, which is a 1700 fantasy slash real slash something else thing going on, and which prompted me to get into Devilry Afoot and get some miniatures from Bloody Miniatures and pick up some things, and it piqued my curiosity around the North Star is doing a 1700 line, and they just expanded it by adding Three Musketeers. Um, excuse me. And that is really that's really cool for me. Um, so the game Rites of Spring, it is based off of a War Transformed. It's its own version of it, and I might discuss it a little bit. I want to make sure it's okay. I could do this with the author's permission. Um, it's a little bit interesting and a little bit different, and 3x3 play area, weird war, but not like the last war. Instead, you can have different, like in a War Transformed, you can have witches, you can have werewolves, you can have conjurers, sorcerers, all sorts of different things. Cavalry. The I'm looking forward to it. And I'm being cautious because sometimes when I read things how I want the thing to be, and if it doesn't have the things that I want, I sort of like, and so I'm being cautious around it to some degree, but we'll see. The um, there's enough kit bashing potential, and there's enough plastic minis out there that I think I'm going to pause just for a second. And pardon me for that. And I'm interested in it. It's not going to put anything else aside. Well, it might, because the natural way things are. There's only so many hours in the day, and you only have so much time. But we will see how that goes. There's going to be a couple holidays coming up, and when there's a will, there's a way. The So that's it. The key thing is probably that I've decided to commit to a playtest. It's not a paid get it. It's not a paid gig, but it is just something interesting, and it fits my weird niche of liking a little bit sci-fi fantasy stuff. The Yeah, I'm excited for it, and I think probably, well, it's a small skirmish, so it's a maximum. The way the points are distributed, it's a low points, but you have two different measurements for your points. You have your Anyway. It's for your person, and then you have equipment points. But it's cool. So he is on Facebook, and he sent out the message, and I commented. I think I'm excited. I'm not sure I'll be able to play it, but my plan is. I do have some World War One minis set up, and I don't know if I could do a full game, but I might be able to. We'll just have to see. The Also have some 15 millimeter and World War One minis that I might work on to help my A War Transformed along. The So that's And yes, I would love to do the legitimate salvage. I would love to do the solo bounty hunter, but for whatever reason, this weird one hit me. I mean, I downloaded the book, read it overnight. I also read the bounty hunter one overnight, and I don't read that fast usually unless I'm excited about something. And evidently, I was excited about this, and they're both all three are very promising games to look forward to. I did look at the version of Signs and Wonders like I stopped at 0.7, I think is what I just ran out of time and I was too distracted. That's before I decided to narrow down. Now, back to my hide, stone, and bone. I still have to paint some things and finish up some things. That's going to happen. We'll see. I'll make sure before the end of the summer. And I hope to do some more stuff on the tubes for that. I have some stuff set up for that, and I have some flip throughs I need to work on and get done. So hopefully next Friday I can have a couple new videos up, or a new video at the very least, and get some other stuff recorded. I just wanted to thank you. I noticed I've had a lot of new subscribers, and I'm going to do a reintroduction probably at the beginning of July, when I'm trying to be about. And I think I'm being true to it, but it's a different. I'm in a little bit different space than I was 6 months ago, or even 2 months ago. But we'll see. So listen, I've got to get on with the day. I've got to do some work, and for work, and then I've got to do some house stuff and all that, like everyone else. So this will be, I'm hoping to get up tonight, which is Saturday the 13th. Yeah, or 12th. 13th. And we shall see. And hopefully I can make that happen. And I just really want to thank you guys for watching, and gals and people. And hopefully you are getting something out of this. You are seeing different things and thinking of different things. Oh, remember to like and subscribe if you can. I always forget to say that. So I did Black Site Studios Cosmica. I've talked about it a couple times. It does look bomb. It is bomb. I think I have not played it yet. I still have my astronaut minis to put together. I'm not. The game calls for different type of minis, and the idea you're scavengers, so you will have different suits. So I don't know if I want everyone to look the same. And the ones, these guys here are I just think they're a little bit bigger than the included. Maybe not, but they're a different look than the traditional spacesuit, and they're not Space Marines, thank goodness, or there'd be lawsuits on the horizon. But they aren't a traditional vacuum spacesuit. The droids look killer, and so I did find a different firm that has different style of miniature, which I bought one of them. They were inexpensive, and so I'm going to be picking up a couple different spacesuits just so I can have variety. And it, where I was going with all this, in a roundabout, obtuse, very obtuse way, is that so I somehow did not get, which sounds weird, but lost, did not get, did something wrong, whatever, the 4 of the pillar pieces. Now, and to show you one, it's going to be hard, but let's see if I can make it. No, everything's stacked up and and they're a simple piece. There's some more of their terrain. There's this, and if I had a 3D printer, I could probably do that, but I don't. And I glued everything together, and I've got to glue on some of the accessories, but I don't have the four of the legs to get this piece mounted. And in looking at the scenery, as I interpret it, you're going to have the more damaged higher up scenery, and further down you're going to have the more complete, you know, undamaged. And I don't have enough, in my perspective, of the undamaged and or damaged. So this is why I'm like, okay, get this. And they do a lot of cool things, but I just don't have the. Anyway, it doesn't have to make sense. It's just my vision. And why am I pursuing this? Is because I foresee the potential of being able to play it with 3 or possibly 4 different games. And of course, then I paused and had to stop and think about the game. So this is the Cosmica Scrap Jacks by Patrick Todorov, the author of Zona Alpha, the Legitimate Salvage, and there's two different games that this scenery could work well with. And then, of course, you can always use, if you happen to be one of those suckers that picked up the Games Workshop Gallowdark stuff, then you can always use that. But this, not in Cosmica, you need a 3 level, and you could probably do, because the board is 18-inch by 18-inch for Cosmica, which I think is brilliant on their part. You could probably do it on 3 different boards, but it just takes up more real estate. I might as well go high, but that's a different thing going on there. And I say that I need this, but I'm not sure you actually do. I have not refreshed my memory on how they build the boards in Cosmica. That's something I'll probably be doing later, and so we'll see. And I apologize for boring you if you were looking for something new and exciting, and I haven't recently. I do have some things planned, but life is what it is, and it has to take precedence. Which is annoying at times, but that is what it is. This unexpected visit to the emergency room with my wife was distressful, or stressful, I guess, is not distressful. And it's still ongoing, and it's going to be ongoing. So I mentioned it a couple times, and I guess it merits, and I don't know if anyone ever gets this far in the video, but it merits some mention. So last year she had a cochlear implant, and everything went really well, surprisingly well. We had arranged to have family help us for a period and all this stuff, and none of that was necessary. However, I went on a training trip, and right either before or after, I'm thinking it's after because I discussed this with the instructor at the training. She came down with a massive infection, and you can imagine. So this is in your brain, and the implant, and you're over here. you can't do anything about it, and you are hurting, and you don't understand, and everything was going well. So she was like, there's one chance in 10,000 for, I may have said this in another video, I don't remember, to get a infection. And she was that one person who got that infection. And it is quite serious. And we went to the local hospital. They are not prepared to handle anything like this. And the idea of a cochlear implant, anyway. And so they basically like take 2 aspirins and go home. Not to bash healthcare or anything like that where we're at. It's for where we're at. It's very good. And so lost some sleep for a couple days, and concerned for her for a couple days, and all those things. And not that, you are with someone, you are always thinking about them, but this is a little bit different. And that's where that's at. And we don't know if she will be okay and for a few days or what. I did talk to her, and I thought she was doing better yesterday, but the implant works off vibrations, and the vibrations of where it's located or originating in her head, it numbs the area when she has the implant on. So that's a cool side effect, but it's also a disadvantage because you don't know if you're hurting. So we're trying to keep an eye out on that. And I rambled way too long, and I swore this was going to be a short one, and it's going on 20 minutes. Some of it will be cut out, but however, and again, I want to thank you. And listen, hopefully you're seeing some different things and excited about different things. But we will try to get this up soon and do some new stuff for next week after I do my work. So talk to you later. Have a great one. Happy gaming.